Hello and good morning. Now, Wednesday mornings on Wake Up Nigeria are extra special. We like to call it Wonder Woman Wednesday. At least three powerful women come together to make things happen on Wednesday mornings on Wake Up Nigeria. And this morning is not going to be any different. Good morning to you. The next 3 hours are going to be just for you. Our one and only goal is to make sure that you have the morning that you deserve. We're not going to be, we're not going to be taking this lightly. We're going to put all our effort into it to make sure that as you get up, you get that boost you need. My name is Titilayo, Oyinsan, and ladies will be joining me in just a second. Make sure you tune in and stream live if you can. That's tvcentertainment.tv if you need to move around. And of course on Facebook at TVC Connect. You can connect with us there as well. Speaking of connections, we're going to be needing your comments, contributions, prayer messages, everything. Just make sure you use our hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC. That's for all the social media handles. Now, if you have a handheld device, you could also decide to download our app. It's available for Android, it's available for iOS, and with that app, you can watch all our exciting episodes right there. Or indeed, if you need to catch up with anything you've missed for the past few episodes, why not subscribe to our YouTube channel? That's TVC Entertainment on YouTube. On Fridays, we have someone special join us in the afternoons from 2:30 p.m. on Instagram Live. This gives you the opportunity to ask your favorite celebrities and really interesting individuals all the questions you like. You can also talk directly with us, give us some suggestions, and hey, we always take them seriously. We're going to be doing quite a bit today. Let's get this show on the road, shall we? Oh, the ladies are in the building. We made it. Wow. Wednesday.
We made it.
We made it.
Few people can understand what we mean by we made it. Well, hey, good morning. Good morning. I see a lot of brightness. Red, right? Even wine, still a shade of red.
Yes,
it's not bad. It's not bad.
There's it's always so much fun when the ladies are in the house. It just feels like all those guys sometimes. It just, I don't know, they kind of dampen our...
No, they don't,
mood.
actually.
They do.
No, they
Mike dampens my mood once in a while whenever he comes with those
I'm
comments.
sorry, they don't. I shine through every single time, whether they're around or not. Yeah.
Virtual high five.
Not me only virtual high five.
But it's something that we appreciate all the comments and contributions, especially from ladies online. Whenever we come on air on Wednesdays, it's like the ladies also come out to comment online, and we have a really great time. So for those of us who have kids, the whole back to school thing, I really want to talk about that. I don't know whether there's enough time to talk about it right now. What do you think?
Go ahead.
Anybody?
I believe we have a bit of time to do that, yeah.
So, Monday morning like this, it was like a whirlwind went through my house. I was looking for socks. I was looking for shoes. I realized that the shoes hadn't been cleaned in how many months. I was like, my goodness, why didn't I think of this yesterday? There were just so many things that I had relaxed on. And then they just had
you knew that school was resuming.
I knew it was
how
resuming.
Is it that you didn't put all those things in
So I was thinking about other stuff, like where is their food flask?
Wow.
Where is their school bag? Got the school bag ready.
Like, the way I look at it is, like when you're starting a new session, you have to buy.
Yes.
Yeah.
So the buying thing, I was just like, do we really have to buy? Don't worry, they will manage it. So that was my mindset until Monday morning. I'm just like, wait, this is not going to work.
But you took a huge risk. Number one, it could be the shoes might not fit anymore.
Yeah.
That was a huge risk.
Or the socks may be dirty.
No, don't worry. I had a new packet of socks there.
Okay.
And there are some schools that insist you buy the school socks. So in that kind of situation.
You're old.
Okay.
But there's just a lot that parents are, just like going through all over again. And then the kids too were also really exhausted when they got back on the first day. And I just realized that, they also need to kind of rebuild.
Please, we need the exhaustion.
You need it? Are you sure?
They've been looking for ways to really expend their energy for months, and I think that we've been underestimating schools. Schools aren't really for learning alone. Schools are for energy. Go and exhume it. Yes, just take out that energy. Like, give us a break. Like, You don't understand. These children want to play, and it's actually really sad because I saw quite a number of children over the 6 months.
Yeah, 6 months.
And they were struggling to do so many things. They will ask mommy and daddy, play with us. And mommy and daddy are like, bro, I've been out all day.
I think before we quickly wrap this up, I think one of the most important thing we're not talking about is what precautions are schools putting in place to ensure that these pupils are safe. You know, washing of hands properly all the time, as often as possible, using their face mask, because we know that kids, after one
hour, they will throw it away.
You know, they'll fling it away. Exactly. When they feel like they're feeling uncomfortable, and their hand sanitizers. Also, come and meet me, Mommy, I want to use hand sanitizer. Hand sanitizer. You know, all of those things.
Like,
so
you know what, we're gonna
all teachers, really. Shout out to all teachers.
And shout out to all moms and dads. You know that finally put their kids back out there.
Okay, it is time for us to take the news update.
I'm going to be taking that at this point, and we're starting this way. Organized labor and civil society groups are set to embark on a mass protest next week, Monday, over the hike in prices of petrol and electricity. That's when a 2-week ultimatum for a reversal by the federal government is set to expire. This decision was reached after a closed-door meeting by the National Executive Council of the Nigerian Labour Congress in Abuja. President of the union, Ayuba Waba, says the hike and other charges will further impoverish Nigerian workers and citizens. He insisted that the strike would hold if the federal government failed to yield their demands, which includes the upgrade of nation's refineries.
The issue of hike in electricity tariff by almost 100%. Also, NEC resolved also to reject the fuel price increase in the name of fuel deregulation. Therefore, this increase coming in the mix of the COVID-19 pandemic is not only ill-timed, but is also counterproductive.
Since the reintroduction of the Water Resources Bill, there has been criticism from different quarters, with many accusing the federal government of trying to seize absolute control of water resources in the country. There are also fears that the bill is capable of inciting water wars and depriving citizens access to potable water. The federal government has again appealed to Nigerians that the National Water Resources Bill is designed to benefit all. But the Ministers of Information and Water Resources say the suspicions are baseless, as the Water Resources Bill is designed to benefit all. Correspondent Tijesu Adeoye reports.
The contentious National Water Resource Bill is again before the National Assembly, barely 15 months after it was stepped down by the 8th Senate. But this time it has started an even bigger controversy, with some Nigerians questioning the actual motive behind the bill and if indeed it is in the best interest of the country. Critics of the bill allege that if passed into law, it could deprive Nigerians access to potable water, empower the federal government to deploy water resources however it pleases, and in the worst-case scenario, even incite water wars.
The bill contains provisions that will ensure that internal conflicts on water is averted. A possible source of internal conflict on water is if an upstream state decides to dam an interstate water, thereby preventing it from following its natural course, thus affecting downstream users. So on the contrary, the bill is the only panacea to internal conflict on water.
At this press conference, the Minister of Information and the Minister of Water Resources attempts to disabuse the minds of those gathered about what the bill seeks to achieve.
I said the government should rather focus on putting so much effort in closing the fault lines. That is where this problem is. Any law you bring, whether it is good or bad, people are going to oppose it. Now,
It is
let me
not
just
an
ask this
easy
question.
task.
One question.
According to them, the bill will ensure that the nation's water resources are protected, used, developed, and controlled in a suitable manner for the benefit of all persons. They say the bill also creates the opportunity for public-private partnerships.
Nobody says you cannot drill a borehole in your house. Nobody says that. But you cannot be taking water for commercial use at the expense of the people. So this bill is actually protecting the rights of the people to use it, the ordinary person that is building the borehole in his house.
They argue that licensing as contained in the bill only applies to those who intend to divert the country's water resources for commercial purposes and exempts domestic users.
As a Water Resources Ministry, through the Nigerian Hydrological Services Agency, we have a responsibility to monitor the groundwater resources, to know whether it is polluted or whether it is clean, whether we are depleting too much or not. This is pure common sense.
The federal government urges citizens to avail themselves of the provisions of the bill to avoid being misled by those who have chosen to politicize it.
The federal government believes that when the National Water Resources Bill is passed into law, it will serve all Nigerians and provide opportunity for the enhancement of Nigeria's water sector in line with global best practices. Tijesu Adeoye, TVC News, Abuja.
Let's take a quick look at what's happening on the covers of the papers this morning. We're starting with the Nigerian Tribune, and today is Wednesday, the 23rd of September 2020. No going back on water resources bill, say federal government. It will never pass, Southern Middle Belt leaders vow. Federal government takes over revenue management of NNPC, Customs, FIRS, others, moves to recover unpaid revenues from lottery operators. Fight is over, Obaseki tells Oshomole, receives certificate of return. Election petitions tribunal set up. Oyegun congratulates him, says egocentric politicking could be overcome. Truck drivers sue AGF, 36 governors, FCT, over roadblocks, excessive taxes and levies. CBN says economy may bounce back by December 2020, reduces MPR to 11.5%. Oyo APC crisis not over. Unity Forum rejects Alawa Akala as leader. Ex-governor writes members, says, I'm committed to leading party to victory in 2023. Right at the top here, Britain rolls out new measures to combat second wave of COVID-19 pandemic. Scientists warn new cases could reach 50,000 per day by October as the U.S. surpasses 200,000 deaths. I'll wrap it with this. It says fuel, electricity price hike. Get ready for unprecedented mass action. Labour tells Nigerians. Commences mass mobilization for nationwide protest. This is what we have on the cover of the Tribune. On to the Vanguard at this point. On the electricity tariff, fuel price hike, NLC, TUC strike, mass protests begin Monday. Directs state councils to intensify mobilization of workers, other Nigerians. TUC extends strike notice to tally with NLC's deadline as security agencies stop protests in Kano. On COVID-19, as second wave rages, domestic airlines jettison physical distancing. Economic growth, Nigeria should diversify, according to Sanusi. Meanwhile, federal government has no hidden agenda. National water bill, not Ruga replacement, according to Lai Mohammed. Right at the top here, it says there'll be no mercy for Oshomole if, according to Obaseki there, says fight between him and Oshomole over, says if allowed, Tinubu Oshomole will destroy our democracy, he says. INEC issues him Shaibu certificates of return. That's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard. Moving swiftly to the Punch newspaper at this point, still on the water resources bill here. Afenifere Ohaneze, others tackle federal government tackle government as federal Government says critics ill-informed. It's being opposed by those who have access to media, according to Minister. Meanwhile, the 8th Senate rejected proposed law. We will kill it again, vows Abaribe. Right beside the masthead there, it says $6 million scam. FBI wanted fraud suspect surrenders to EFCC. Let's build Edo together, Obaseki tells Oshomole Izeyamu. And I'll wrap it with this one. CBN repairs, or rather prepares for recession, reduces benchmark lending rate to 11.5%. That's what we have on the cover of the Punch, and that's how we wrap it up on the headlines in the dailies at this point. We'll be taking them again in the second hour of Wake Up Nigeria. Meanwhile, we'll take a quick break. Stay with us.
Welcome back. You're still on to Wake Up Nigeria. Now let's give you some tips on how to make your journey faster and easier this morning as you head to work. We'll be updating you on the traffic updates in and around Lagos. And of course, I've got the ladies in the kitchen. They'll be helping out as well. Hello, ladies. All right, moving on. If you're in the Ikorodu area of Lagos State this morning and at exactly the Ikorodu roundabout, which is very popular, which is also known as Garage, the traffic situation around that axis this morning isn't so bad. It's quite, there's light traffic, but let's see, just as you approach Agric, the traffic eases up a bit, and then it becomes really tight. Just as you approach Ogolonto, the traffic situation on your way is pretty dense at this time. Now let's see, for those who are making their way out of Ikorodu this morning, the traffic situation isn't light at all. It's pretty dense at this time, and all the way to Owode Oniri, the traffic is pretty terrible. All the way. And just as you approach mile 12, I mean, that traffic goes all the way, guys. I'm not even kidding. And, wow. All the way to Ketu as well. As we all know, the road construction on the Mile 12 road is still ongoing at this time. So there, you have to take the service lane or the other lane going inwards Ikorodu at this time. So whilst making your way out, please drive carefully and also consider other road users, as you journey along. I don't know if you guys have any updates on Twitter yet.
I've actually been following at Follow Lasma.
That's where I am as well.
Yeah, it says here Oworo to Church and Ilaje is very good. Traffic inward Unilag Waterfront, Adekunle, Adeniji, Ilubirin, Shaw Bridge, Osborne, Bayokuku Junction, Alpha Rewani, Falomo are all good to go.
Oh, great.
So that's like your entire route going from the beginning of Third Mainland all the way into Victoria Island, or at least into Ikoyi, seems to be all free and all good, according to Follow Lasma. Do you have any?
Yes, I do. Okay. Emem, you want to go on?
Go ahead.
Okay. This says traffic from Kara to Beja, Otedola, Alausa, Corn Oil U-turn, Tollgate, motorways, Ojota Bridge, Chinatown, Alakpere, Ogudu, Ifako, Olokpemeji, inward Oworo is very good at the moment. So that's it right now, though.
All right, thank you very much, ladies. Let's see what the traffic situation on Lagos Ikorodu Expressway is like this morning. So far, so good. The traffic situation isn't bad at all. It's pretty light at this time. Just, I can see a few impediments just at various bus stops, but all around, not so bad. The Anthony area seems to be pretty light traffic, not serious at all. And just as we approach Jibowu Fadeye, the traffic situation isn't bad at all. It's pretty light all around. Now let's see what the Eco Bridge is like this morning. Okay, so from what I can see here, Akbobo Eco Bridge, there's no traffic at all. It's free flowing all the way. Just as you make your way to Lagos Island, traffic situation isn't bad at this time. But hopefully, if you leave the house in good time now, it will be a good, you could get to work on time. And that's it basically here. I don't know if you guys have any other updates on Twitter.
One more from me.
Okay.
Yeah, leaving Abraham Adesoya. That's from after Aja. That Abraham Adesoya is, I believe, after Aja bus stop. If you're leaving Abraham Adesoya heading towards VI, traffic is good to Aja via Jubilee Bridge. Then it goes a little slower as you approach Ilaje due to commercial activities budding around there. Ado Road, inward Aja, under bridge is also good. So doesn't seem like there's much tension around there right now.
Thank you very much, Titi. And that's it on traffic update for now. Ladies, what are we talking about?
Petraki FC.
Wow. Mary just jumped right in there.
So I was actually thinking that, and I did not realize that I had said it out so loud. But yes, that's what we're talking about this morning. Petraki FC. It was trending, and I learned quite a lot of lessons from it. I realized that some people just jump on trends. Just for the sake of it. A guy had to school another guy before he understood what was actually happening. Meanwhile, he had bashed ladies, bashed so many comments and everything, even fellow guys. Until one guy said, "What do you think started this Petraki FC thing?" And he was like, is it not the usual way women will just come and start running men down? And like, that was when I realized that some people just jump on trends just so they can have an opinion, which is quite sad.
Really sad.
But let's go to the real gist of the Petraki FC. I should be giving the gist because I know the gist.
Please go.
But I know somebody that is about to explode with the gist.
No,
So
please.
we need to let her give us the
No,
gist.
please.
We like when you give gist because
We like
you
it.
create very good mental.
Oh, really? Wow. Okay. I didn't realize that.
Yeah, start.
Okay, so there's a lot of dimension to these gists. I don't even know where to start. But we will start with, let's see.
Okay, so maybe we should.
So I'm sorry, darling.
Yeah, go ahead.
Somebody tweeted. I don't want to call his name or mention his name, but he knows himself. All right. So anyway, in a nutshell, he tweeted about, so we're talking about, okay. So first of all, one guy talked about how he, was chilling with his friends when his wife just called and said she's through. That's like she had given birth.
She's through.
Yes, she's through.
She went shopping.
Yes.
Hey.
She had just put to bed. And he was just about to order, a plate of isiu with his friends when she called. So he had to just quickly, ask for takeaway.
Even
Yes, waited to collect takeaway. Then quickly rushed to the hospital to see his wife. Then people now, and of course, ladies, came at him, were like, dude, like, you make it seem as if, no, your wife just gave birth. Why were you not there?
Yeah.
He didn't actually say, he said their first child, actually. He said their first child.
Okay.
And then ladies, came at him, blah, 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 blah. And, they went, he received some major backlash. This guy now came and said that, he was talking about that childbirth is not as dangerous as people make it to seem.
He has given birth before.
Apparently, his wife died from a stillbirth.
And
he still said this.
As in, he says it's like crossing the road.
Wow.
That people now see birth as a condition that requires medical intervention, and so they put themselves at risk.
This is the same person that lost
Then
his
some
wife.
other people also went on to say some people will be screaming when they are in labor, screaming, instead of keeping the
so
energy
in a nutshell,
for the birth.
So in a nutshell,
scream,
what actually made this whole patriarchy FC thing trend was the fact that a lot of guys were totally underrated childbearing.
Okay, so where do we start from?
I have where to start. We don't need to go far. Number one, I just feel like whoever says childbearing isn't such a big deal, the person just needs one hard kick.
Yeah, from a child.
On
in a
and
special
then
region.
when that happens, you can now multiply the pain you feel by 20 decibels. Make it 200. Then you will now understand what childbirth is. The reason people take it for granted is because so many women more or less strolling and out of the hospital.
Yeah.
But you haven't experienced women that went through a lot to give birth.
Yes.
I know someone that she was more or less unable to do anything for the entire 9 months.
Yeah, yeah.
Yes,
The process
it's actually
of
real
pregnancy
some women.
itself. The process of pregnancy itself. I was actually in a room with someone. Yeah, the person is a member of staff. He said, "What's there?" And the guy is not married. So I was like, "Okay, it's because you're not married. You don't have a wife yet. I'll leave you." But the thing is, imagine. I want to paint a picture. Imagine strapping a 10-kilo bag of rice to your waist. Right? I'm just trying to give
That's
you.
even still the
strap it,
pregnancy.
just the pregnancy. Strap it to your waist. Now, bath with it. Cook with it, go
Sleep
to
with it.
work with it, sleep with it, have sex with it.
Wow.
Yes,
Yes.
because the men will demand that, and then carry other children while you are carrying that 10-kilo bag of rice on your waist, strapped up. That is just maybe 15% of what women go through. Because in the end, they can't eat what they want in some cases. Their ankles are swollen. They can't wear any of the old clothes they used to want to wear. Then, of course, the hormones going through them is driving them nuts. And they're still supposed to be chilled and welcoming to family.
I feel like we didn't start from the beginning.
Yes,
we didn't
I'm just
start
saying,
from what some women go through to
even get pregnant.
The number of miscarriages, the
goodness.
pain of, not of always seeing your, your menstrual period. Like, do you know some women actually cry when they see it?
Oh my goodness.
Then when you finally get pregnant,
of emotions.
the roller coaster
Yeah,
of
you go
emotions
through
involved,
being a
then you
woman.
About those that go
some
through
people are just
IVF.
fortunate.
The IVF process, for people that want to have children, do you know that these women have to inject themselves with certain hormones and stuff every day at a specific time of the day, every single day? Do you understand the kind
A friend's
of
colleague died because of this.
Oh my
Because
goodness.
of
IVF.
Oh goodness
Yes.
me.
People, because we hear so many success stories, we do not realize that there are actually so many terrible, unfortunate stories. And that even, with all these things we've been saying, we've not even talked about the birth process itself. Before we even talk about it, let me just ask you, Tope.
Yeah.
Just tell me, when you hear, you've been quiet.
Yes,
and I want to
I'm
know
not giving birth.
Yes,
No, it's not even about giving birth. I actually want to know, when you hear of childbirth, be very honest.
What comes to mind?
What comes to mind?
Pain. Like, scary, tearing me apart. No, I mean, my best friend has 2 kids, and I have sisters, aunties that have kids, and nobody ever tells me like, oh, it was so stress-free. I remember when I went to stay in the hospital with my aunt when she gave birth, and then she couldn't walk well. They had to stitch her, and I'm just like,
Wow.
never.
Not gonna happen. He sat in on his first child's delivery, and he said for like a year he was traumatized. He couldn't touch his wife, and then anything she said to him, this is somebody that is like is brawny and all, he would go, yes ma, like ma.
Yeah.
Like, wow, you could do this for me. By the second child, he insisted he wanted to be there. And he decided that would be their last child, that they are not doing it again. That he can't tolerate the fact that she goes through so much pain.
Yeah.
So
Yet some men will even start doing and be like, why are you shouting? Are you the first person?
So for anyone,
So
any guy that thinks like that, honestly, you have to really change your perspective on things. And honestly, we would love to hear your experiences and how you plan to deal with anybody who tells you nonsense later. Please tweet to us with our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. We would love to hear what you have to say. Let's take a quick break, y'all.
we'll be right back.
You should know by now that this is the best century to be
A woman.
it is. Don't try us.
We have louder voices. We're seen more, heard more clearly than we ever have.
Well, that's in the last 2 centuries, though.
Yeah.
And now for another hour and 45 minutes, you will definitely be seeing more of the Wonder Women on Wake Up Nigeria.
Wednesdays are for the ladies on the show. And of course, we have to say, it always hits different every single week But of course, we miss the guys somehow, sometimes. Just a little.
I see them on Monday.
Just a little.
I see them so much.
You see them Tuesday.
It's always good to have this break, like do your nails, feel good with yourself. Well, top of the morning to you once again, and welcome to this edition of your one-stop family breakfast show. My name is Mary Bashwa Alimi.
And I'm Titilayo Oyinsan. Stream the show live on tvcentertainment.tv and of course on Facebook at TVC Connect.
We also have a super cool app. It's available for download at both Android and iOS stores. Now, this app allows you to watch us from absolutely anywhere in the world, so you should go cop it.
Yes, so. And you can always watch all our exciting episodes from YouTube. Please visit our YouTube channel, subscribe, hit that notification bell. You're looking for TVC Entertainment.
That's right. And of course, you know, as usual, this Friday, we have someone special joining us on Wake Up Extra.
Yeah.
And that'll be via IG Live. You don't want to miss this one.
We have a brand new chef today on the show, and the chef is from Zay's Kitchen.
Hey, chef, I am midday. I'm Zay's Kitchen.
Hi.
She's high. She's eyeing us. I'm going to cook a storm for us this morning.
People are not ready.
Oh, chef, get him. There's a hot energy over here. Back to you, Titi and Mary.
Okay, so through to the highlights then. Dr. Kuti is a general practitioner with keen interest in public health. Now, he will be joining us later on the show to talk about urinary tract infection, symptoms, and treatment. I know for sure we ladies need this a lot.
Wow. Now, Nigeria's 60th independence is almost upon us, and Coca-Cola is celebrating in epic Naija style. Join us in song as we set a new world record as the most number of people to ever sing our national anthem at once.
Yeah, you should tune into the Coca-Cola Nigeria YouTube channel on the 1st of October at 10:30 a.m. for an exclusive virtual concert featuring performances by some of Nigeria's biggest and coolest acts. We're talking about Tubaba, Yemi Alade, Rema. It's going to be a first, and it's going to be epic as well.
Yes, so it's going to be really, really fun. And I think it's a great record to try and set. The national anthem is something, you know, a lot of people sing during football matches and the like, but it'll be great for everyone to just do it at the same time on October 1st.
I'm really looking forward to that. Virtual concert, I think that's the new new reality. So yeah, it's time for some news now.
Tolerate one guy.
Yes, yes, just that one guy. And this time it is
Ibrahim.
And he's on standby.
Yeah, next time you say the only guy on the set.
he's wearing it proudly.
It's the third day of resumption for schools in some states in Nigeria, which were closed for about 6 months as a result of the pandemic. While learning activities are gradually picking up, the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 has stressed the need for more vigilance in spite of appreciable progress recorded in controlling the deadly virus. And organized labor and civil society groups are set to embark on a mass protest next week, Monday, over the hike in the prices of petrol and electricity. That's when a 2-week ultimatum for a reversal by the federal government is set to expire. This decision was reached after a closed-door meeting by the National Executive Council of the Nigerian Labour Congress in Abuja. President of the union, Ayuba Waba, says the hike and other charges will further impoverish Nigerian workers and citizens. He insists the strike will hold if the federal government fails to yield to their demands, which includes the upgrade of the nation's refineries.
The issue of hike in electricity tariff by almost 100%. Also, NEC resolved also to reject the fuel price increase in the name of full deregulation. Therefore, this increase coming in the mix of the COVID-19 pandemic is not only ill-timed, but is also counterproductive.
And since the reintroduction of the Water Resources Bill, there have been criticisms from different quarters, with many accusing the federal government of trying to seize absolute control of water resources in the country. There are also fears that the bill is capable of inciting water wars and depriving citizens access to potable water. The federal government has again appealed to Nigerians that the National Water Resources Bill is designed to benefit all. But the ministers of Information and Water Resources say the suspicions are baseless, as the Water Resources Bill is designed to benefit all. Critics of the bill also allege that if passed into law, it could empower the federal government to deploy water resources however it pleases, and in the worst-case scenario, even incite water wars. Outside Nigeria, the United States coronavirus death toll has passed 200,000. According to data from Johns Hopkins University, more than 6.8 million people are known to have been infected in the U.S., the highest in any country. The milestone comes amid an increase in cases in a number of states, including North Dakota and Utah. President Donald Trump said on Tuesday that the new death toll was a horrible thing and claimed China should have stopped the virus during his UN General Assembly speech. There are also concerns that it could be difficult to keep the virus under control in the colder months.
Welcome back. It's about time for us to take a quick look at what's happening on the covers of the newspapers. Today is Wednesday, September 23rd, 2020. Starting with the Punch newspaper at this point, it says here, Water Resources Bill, Afenifere Ohaneze, others tackle government as federal government says critics ill-informed. It's being opposed by those who have access to media, says Minister. 8th Senate rejected proposed law. We will kill it again, vows Abaribe. Tributes as Army Commander Bako killed by Boko Haram is buried. Page 11 has more on that. Meanwhile, it says 433 million naira commission. Ajayi's allegation treacherous, false, says Akeredolu's son. Atiku family not under U.S. surveillance, says aide. APC crisis, Lane, ex-minister, others lampoon Alao Akala. Page 13 has more on that. 10 billion naira lost, 15,000 displaced by Kwara flood. Outrage as ex-minister allegedly orders hotel female workers stripped naked. Zamfara Mesu Yari alleges ex-governor diverted 37 billion naira. Moving to the top of the page here, CBN prepares for recession, reduces benchmark lending rate to 11.5%. Now let's move on to the Vanguard. Here on the cover of the Vanguard, it says electricity tariff, fuel price hike. NLC, TUC strike, mass protests begin Monday. Directs state councils to intensify mobilization of workers, other Nigerians. On COVID-19, as second wave rages, domestic airlines jettison physical distancing. Economic growth, Nigeria should diversify, according to Sanusi. Federal government has no hidden agenda. National water bill, not Ruga replacement, according to Lai Mohammed. Right at the top here, we have, there'll be no mercy for Oshomole if, according to Obaseki, says fight between him and Oshomole over. CBN cuts monetary rate to 11.5%, calls for urgent fiscal measure against inflation. And that's what we have on the cover of the Vanguard. On the Nigerian Tribune, it says here, no going back on water resources bill. According to the federal government, it will never pass, Southern Middle Belt leaders vow. Federal government, meanwhile, takes over revenue management for NMPC, Customs, FIRS, and others, moves to recover unpaid revenues from lottery operators. Fight is over, Obaseki tells Oshomole. Receives certificate of return. Election petitions tribunal sets up. And Oyegun congratulates him, says egocentric politicking could be overcome. At this point, it says CBN says economy may bounce back by December 2020 as truck drivers sue AGF, 36 governors, FCT over roadblocks, excessive taxes and levies. We'll wrap it with this on the Nigerian Tribune. Britain rolls out new measures to combat second wave of COVID-19 pandemic. Scientists warn new cases could reach 50,000 per day by October as the U.S. surpasses 200,000 deaths. Now let's see what we can find on the cover of The Nation. Petrol price, electricity tariffs, labor to begin, or rather set to begin, a strike. Federal government to meet with NLC, TUC tomorrow to be in continuous dialogue with them. At the top here, rainstorm displaces 15,000 in Kwara on the flood matter. Osun traders lament. MPC cuts interest rates to 11.5%. Directors to track revenue in NNPC, FIRS, Customs, as Oyo Police, OPC lay claim to arrest of bandits. What else do we have here? CBN disperses 3.5 trillion naira COVID-19 intervention cash. Small chart here. Well, it says who got what. According to this chart, it says the real sector got 216.87 billion. COVID-19 targeted credit facility, that's 73.69 billion. Agribusiness, 54.66 billion. Pharmaceutical and healthcare, 44.47 billion. And creative industry financing, 2.93 billion naira. Interesting breakdown there. And I'll wrap it with this. It says $6 million fraud suspect reports self to EFCC. I'm not sure if we have enough time for the Daily Independent. Let's see. Let's rush through this. It says fuel price, electricity tariff hike. NLC fixes September 28th for nationwide protest. TUC, civil societies, others promise to join. And, yep, let's restructure Nigeria into confederation. Yoruba Obas tell Buhari. And mopped up food for palliatives cause of rising costs, according to Security Council.
Okay, so let's quickly run through our menu.
Okay.
For what we're preparing this morning. We have, so what's here?
So we have blended pepper where we have shamba, tomatoes, rodo with onions inside blended. Then we have,
Okay, that's all we have inside here?
Yes.
Okay, so just blended.
Yes.
Then we have eggs, we have turkey
and chicken.
Then
we have our vegetable oil, onions, rice, pomo, ejakika.
So when I go to the market and I want to prepare my orishi sauce, I ask for ejakika. But this is not the fish that they call pala.
No.
So
There's
that's
also
a different one.
Yes.
Okay, so ejakika. Then we have our herbs.
Yes, we have
dried herbs.
Then we have
and we have seasoning cube
and then
we have
salt.
sauce. You know what? Let's delve right into orishi sauce. Ooh.
Yes. So
okay, so what we starting with?
So we already have our vegetable oil inside.
Okay.
Then we'll just, onions go in.
Okay. So we're going to start with the sauce. Okay.
For the rice, because rice takes like 10 minutes.
Yeah, and it's done.
Yes. So you allow the onions to get brownish a little bit. Then add your blended pepper. Yes.
So now, why did you choose to use rodo, what did you call it?
Shombo.
Why did you choose to use different peppers?
So to make it more spicy.
Spicy, okay.
Yes.
So this is...
That's why it's called orishi. So like when you're eating it, like, okay, there's this pomo.
It's hot.
Water with all the spices inside.
Okay.
So yes.
So this is because I remember when I came to Lagos newly, I wasn't someone who used to eat pepper.
Okay.
So there was this thing where we used to call it Yoruba stew because it's hot. So would we call this Yoruba stew or is just a sauce?
Just a sauce.
It's just a sauce.
Yes.
A sauce that keeps you hot. Okay, so we're putting...
So
we're
put our
put
pepper now.
Peppers now, okay.
Yes. Careful.
I like the sound of that.
I can't wait for you to have a taste.
I like this chef. She's very confident in her skills.
So very sketchy. We don't disappoint.
O'Shea. So
Good
we're going to add the rest of that?
Okay, yes.
Okay. I like this. By the time we're done, I'm going to be taking a 1 liter bowl of sauce.
All for you.
Okay. All right.
So just wait for it.
So how long will we keep? How long are we going to leave this on fire?
For this to boil before I add my seasoning back?
Yes.
5 minutes.
What?
Then for 5 minutes.
5 minutes.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
To boil. Then we add our seasonings inside before we add our pomo and our fish.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
So now, if I want to prepare this at home, I like to always help my sisters out there for our mother-in-laws. So mother-in-law is coming. How much do I need to quickly get together for this?
You don't need too much. You know, if you want to, like your turkey now, like half kilo, you're good. Maybe like 900 naira with your chicken. You don't even need chicken itself.
Budget,
Just half kilo. Just half kilo. Don't overdo. Because if you overdo, you're on your own.
And then you be broke.
Bomo, 250. Eja kika, 250. Your eggs, how much? 50, 200 naira.
Salutes. Yo, people, Zay's Kitchen is definitely giving us a very affordable breakfast. Like, you could prepare this for your mother-in-law, your father-in-law. I think father-in-laws are really cool. It's mother-in-laws that you gotta put in an effort.
Oh, your seasoning has to be on check.
Point, yeah. Okay, so now, for people who like to, I personally like to dry out my tomatoes and peppers before I put it on fire. So now, how do I just leave this to, what's the alternative? Because this is the first time I'm seeing people, I'm seeing sauce made like this. So are you going to just leave this on low heat, or you're going to increase it? How are we doing it?
Just leave it on low heat.
I'm just going to leave it on low heat. So by itself, it's going to dry. Oh, hey, I'm here for this full experience. While we're leaving it on low heat to be, entering the Orishirishi, Titi and Mary are definitely going to be talking to us about UTIs. Titi, Mary's yours.
So because of Orishirishi, you're just jumping. The level of excitement, Tope, now wow.
It's going to be fun in that kitchen, I have to say. Now, this topic is one that, some people try to avoid discussing, but we're going to actually talk about it today. Yes. Urinary tract infections, or UTIs. Those are infections that occur in any part of the urinary system. That's the kidneys, the bladder, or the urethra.
And I think that's about as much as we probably know. And so to enlighten us, we have General Health Practitioner Dr. Olatunde Kuti is joining us to tell us more about UTI, its symptoms, and treatment, of course. So great to have you on the show, Dr. Kuti.
Good morning, doctor.
Good morning.
Oh, goodness, we can't hear the doctor yet. Okay.
Oh, great. Fantastic. Okay, so great to have you on the show. Thank you so much for joining us.
It's a pleasure, always on the show.
Absolutely.
Okay. So I think we should just start with how to even identify if someone has a UTI. What are the first indicators when someone comes to your doctor's office and complains?
The common symptoms of UTI is number one, frequency. What we mean by frequency, the person goes to toilet more than often. So every, let's say 30 minutes, 1 hour, you are pressed, you feel like going to the toilet. There's something we call urgency, inability to hold your urine. So when you are pressed, you just want to go to the toilet and urinate immediately. Then there's also what we call dysuria. There's pain while urinating. You're not supposed to feel pain while you're urinating. So when you start feeling pain, that burning sensation, it's called a burning sensation while urinating. Those are the common symptoms of UTI. However, there are more. So,
Go ahead, please.
Okay, however, there are more, which we call the complex UTI. So those symptoms I mentioned earlier, that for the simple UTI, but for the complex UTI, when you start seeing blood in the urine, you have fever with chills, there's back pain, or there's a flank pain. Those are also symptoms of the complex UTI, which is more serious than the simple UTI.
Okay. When we talk UTI, many people always think is a girl thing or it's a female disease. What many people don't realize is it's a unisex disease. However, for both sexes, how can you identify it? Is it the same symptoms or it differs?
The same symptoms for both sexes. And to correct that, UTI can affect both male and female. Young and old can affect everybody. Though it's commoner in female. We found out that females have UTI more. But the symptoms is basically the same thing in both sexes.
Okay.
So, Doc, where exactly could someone get a UTI? So what are the most common causes of urinary tract infections?
Urinary tract infection basically is caused by the most common bacteria that causes it is called E. coli. So when you have urinary tract infection, it's a bacterial infection. It's a bacteria that is causing the infection. But there are predisposing factors that will make the bacteria cause the infection. So things like why it's common in females. Females have a shorter urethra. There's something called urethra where you urinate from. The female has a shorter one, which is very close to the vagina as well as the rectum. Because of that close proximity, organisms can get easily into the urinary tract. Then you not urinating on time, holding the urine for a long time, what we call stasis. So you are pressed because you are doing something at work or something, you don't go to the toilet for a very long time. That can also cause predispose you to the bacterial infection. Then you not taking adequate water, dehydration can also predispose you to having the bacterial infection. And for some reasons, in females as well, hormonal changes has also been attributed because females undergo different puberty, menstruation, and everything. So the hormonal changes alter the balance, the pH, the acidic pH of the vagina, which is supposed to be protective against bacteria. But when that pH is that acidity is altered, it can allow the bacteria to grow and easily get into the urinary tract infection. So basically, those are the common predisposing factors.
Okay. Dr. Kuti, you know how it is when they say prevention is better than cure. So before we talk about the cure, can we talk about ways to prevent UTIs?
First, most important thing you need to do is take a lot of water.
Okay.
You taking a lot of water would help you prevent UTI because it's going to wash away the bacteria from the urinary tract. Then do avoid holding your urine for too long. Stay pressed. Make sure that you go to the restroom. Then for females, especially those that are just married, there's a common UTI called honeymoon cystitis. It's usually very common for newly married couple because because of the new sexual interaction that they are having. So we always advise that if that's the case, the lady should take water and go to the restroom few hours after interaction with the husband. Then all the other things they do as well. Cranberry has been shown to also help a lot with preventing UTI. So you can take the cranberry juice as much as you can, which will also help you flush out the bacteria and prevent you from having urinary tract infection.
All right. Now, I'd heard about the cranberry. There are even cranberry tablets now that have been designed for things like this. But I wanted to talk a bit about the myths. So a lot of times, you hear older women tell younger women, oh, it's you got it from the toilets you're using in public, or maybe you didn't use the right type of detergent to wash your underwear, or maybe you didn't rinse off the detergent from your underwear properly. Are these all myths, or are these actually true?
Not true. They are not true. Basically, let me use this medium to clarify the fact of toilet infection. Basically, there's nothing like toilet infection actually. So people just say it. Oh, I think it's the toilet that's causing. No, it's not the toilet. I've already explained the predisposing factors earlier. Females is common in females, especially people that are sexually active. Females that are sexually active, they tend to have UTI a lot and not careful. So those are common things that can predispose you to UTI, not the toilet you use and not whether you're washing your underwear. Though not washing your underwear can cause another thing, but not particularly UTI. Okay,
so as quickly as possible now, let's talk about treatment. The first thing you advise your patients to do.
Once you have those symptoms, make sure you visit a doctor, and it's very advisable that you undergo a test. We call it, the best is called urinary MCS culture. So they take your urine and they grow it in the lab. So we try to identify the organism that is growing, and once we can identify the organism that is growing, we test it with the antibiotics that is best to treat it. So once that is done, what you just need to replace your antibiotics, tell you to take a lot of water, and yeah, you're fine. However, for anybody that has UTI at least more than twice in a year, it's really advisable that you visit the urologist. Those are the people that take care of urinary tract infection, because what might be going on might be more than
what is being made of.
Okay. All right.
Thank you so much for your time, Dr. Kuti. We've learned quite a bit. Thank you so much. Hopefully we'll do this some other time. We have to take this break right now. Wake Up Nigeria continues.
when it comes to your smartphones, there is no end to the amazing things that it can do. At this point, we should not even call them phones anymore. We should call them people. All right, so today I'll be sharing a few hacks that will help you simplify and amplify your user experience and make you wonder, what have you been doing with your phone? Well, I'm here to teach you. All right, so first of all, how do you make your phone battery charge faster? You want to know a trick? Okay, so if you're watching, pay attention. Now, if you're using an iPhone or an Android one, here it is. So what you do first of all is, you know this bar up here, you bring it down where you have so many of these notification features here. You turn on the one with the flight mode. So once you turn that on, you leave it on. I know at that time you're not going to answer calls. You're not going to be able to receive calls, but you'd be amazed at how fast your phone battery would charge. And before you can say Jack Robinson, your battery is full. You should try that and let me know what you think. I tried it on recently, and trust me, it works like magic. All right. Secondly, another trick you can try to do is, okay, so I know this happens a lot to iPhone users, where your charger, especially at the neck of it here, wears off. It happens a lot. One trick you can do is you get a spring from a pen. You know this pen spring? Yes, like I have here. And then you wrap it, like I've done here, nicely to the neck of the charging port, just right here. And it holds it firmly. That way you're protecting your chargers against getting damaged. Now, another trick I'd like to teach you is, for those of you who looking for, let's say you'd like to take a picture, or like you want to take a picture and you're not able to get, let's say you're looking for a stand and you don't know how to, get it. What you can do is grab a rubber band and a bottle of water or a bottle of anything, as long as, there's something in it. You take your rubber bands. So you take your phone, like I'm going to do here. And then, so this trick works most of the time, especially when I want to watch movies. See what I've done here? So that way you could just put this in a stance and then you watch whatever it is that you're watching. Very easy. And you could even use it in taking pictures and capturing an image if you have to. You see? Very easy. All right. Quickly, how do you, what do you do when you want to, when your alarm goes off? How do you amplify your alarm, especially in the mornings? You know that thing that happens where your alarm goes off and then you have to snooze it back to get back to sleep? Well, one trick you can do is, in the mornings, you put your phone in a cup and then you leave it. Once the alarm goes off, it amplifies the whole room. And trust me, it could wake up the whole house. You should try it. I tried it and it works like magic. All right. Now, this trick I'm going to try now is one that, okay, so I'll have to try to, I don't know, someone should please pass me a phone with the touchlight, please, quickly, because this isn't coming on. Okay, this isn't coming on either. But, well, one trick I'd like to basically show you is, while you're using your flashlight and you'd like, to illuminate through the room, one thing you can do is, thank you very much. One thing you can do is, you have your flashlight on, you take a cup, an empty cup, glass cup, and you just place it on the flashlight cover. So what it does is it illuminates through the room. It's more like a lamp, like a DIY lamp. You can call it that, yes. So you can try this in the dark and then you see how it illuminates through the whole room. It works, you'd be surprised. You should try that out. Now, I know we're all used to this trick, but it works. Have you ever experienced where your phone, falls into a bowl of water or something and you don't know what to do with it? Well, one trick that works basically is you take a nylon filled with rice, like I have here. You open it up, and then you dip your phone into the rice. So what it does basically, it absorbs all that water on your phone. So you zip it, you close it, and you leave it up for a few hours. I know Titi right now, Tope right now is like, what are you doing with my phone, Emem? Anyways, yes, so if you've ever experienced this, you just do this, shake it in, and allow all of that water, all of the rice to absorb all that moisture on your phone. And that's it on Life Hacks for today. I'm sure that these are a few tricks that, you know, some you might have heard before, some that you may not have, but hey, that's it on Life Hacks for today. And there's just so much more on the show. And I think there's so much happening also in the kitchen. Over to you, Tope.
Emem, hey, I was afraid that Emem was about to put me inside water and not my phone. Thank you so much for Life Hacks. We always learn a thing or two every time from you, Emem. Back to the kitchen with Chef Ayomide from Zay's Kitchen. So we're preparing rice and orishi sauce, if you're just tuning in. So now we've boiled fried, is that how I'll call it, boiled fry?
Anything you call it, Tope. Anything.
Okay, so tell us how far we've progressed with our orishi sauce.
So, boiled for, like I told you earlier, for 5 minutes, but we've added our pomo inside. You know, pomo, it has to be succulent.
Yes.
And then the pepper has to enter inside. So
I love it.
And added our ingredients already,
okay.
Our salt, our curry, our thyme in it, and also our tomato paste.
Okay.
So everything is cooking up, and also our rice is on fire.
On fire,
So
okay.
yes.
So now we're gonna leave that to cook for how long?
For this one, under 5 minutes
So
before.
because we have the pomo inside.
Inside,
So
yes.
when do we put the fish?
So you know the fish is kind of soft already.
Yes.
Because if you put it now, everything will
break.
Yes. So under 5 minutes, we'll just add our turkey and our chicken.
Okay.
Then you leave it. When it's almost ready, that's when we'll now add our fish to it. So it's just everything the pepper will enter inside everything. So as you're breaking your turkey bone, the juice will be coming out, the fish.
Everything is entering one by one. Now let's talk about you. I know you recently graduated from university, and I must say it's really impressive that you already have a kitchen. Now, did you start this while you were in school, or did you start it after school?
I started it during the lockdown.
During the lockdown, wow, people were picking up job opportunities, self-created job opportunities.
Side hustle. This is my side hustle.
Okay.
So yes, because I love to cook. I love to cook. Every time my mom is always in the kitchen, I'll just go. Even though I'm even standing there, I know that I'm doing something. So when I cook, I put it on my display picture. People are like, put your picture, and I'm like, no, I love food. Okay. I'm a foodie. So I'm like, my uncle was like, do you have a kitchen? I said, no, like, this is just me. Then we're like, you know what, I'll sponsor you. Just start something. Then I told one of my friend Olowoniyan, and then she was like, ayo, business. Oh, yeah. Then I'm like, I don't want to do this thing. Me that sometimes I could just be lazy and all that, you know what? And then I started boom, and I'm like, Zay's Kitchen, and everybody back to back orders and all that. I'm like, okay. I was always trying to hide it from my dad. A time, because I'm like, people. I told my brother, go and give the right dad the food. Go and give. But and I told my dad, okay. And I said, I'm proud of you, Zainab. Oh, they were like, what's this Zay? I'm like, Daddy is Zainab. Like, it's actually Zay, like Zainab. So yeah.
Oh, that's nice. You see, so lockdown wasn't so negative for some people. And then now, if people want to contact you to place orders, how can they do that?
On Instagram and WhatsApp, that's all. So Instagram, Kitchen Zays.
Kitchen Zays.
WhatsApp, my number, you could get my number from there.
Instagram page. And place your order. Okay, so if you're just tuning in, we have Chef Ayomide from Zay's Kitchen, and she's preparing white rice and orishi sauce.
I think I will change that sauce to Tope's original.
Ha! You know this. Now let's quickly go through the menu of Tope's original sauce for from Kitchen Zay's. Egg, salt, thyme, pomo, curry, ejakika, seasoning, blended pepper, and of course rice. I love the fact that your menu is so straight to the point and so affordable. So does that mean that, let me give you space, if we are going to order, we're not going to see 5,000, 7,000. We want to eat food.
No, that's for the bowls now. Weekend bowls.
Also, you have
now.
bowls
Yes,
as well.
yes.
So if you are a single bro, single sister, this weekend, I don't want to cook. I don't want to stress. We holla at you.
Good food, great vibes.
Oh, shit! Before we finish giving them. Okay, so is our sauce ready yet?
Almost. Let's not rush it.
Let's not. We'll let it wole. Okay. So now, what's the plan for Zay's Kitchen Zay's? Is it still going to be a side hustle, or are you looking to? Has your experience so far made you want to branch out?
I just, little by little, then from there, probably open a restaurant and.
Oh shit!
Everywhere. Because I'm going to Kitchen Zay's, you know the vibes. So yeah, that's it.
So, but how has it been for you now, combining your job and cooking?
I won't lie to you, it's not easy.
Okay.
Because some people they'll order and then I have to wake up by 3 a.m. My friends will be like, yo, don't you sleep? My guy, we have to make money. Oh, well, could it? So yes, it's not easy, waking up that morning. Even sometimes my mom has to help me. I always call her my assistant, Mommy, please come. Then she will just come, come through and do this together. I'll just do the 1 or 2 things, then go to work. And then she'll be like, yo, it's ready, yo. Can call your rider now, and boom.
Send it out.
Yeah.
Okay, so because I remember earlier you told me you hadn't slept. So did you have an order today that made you stay awake?
I have to come and represent Zay's Kitchen
today. Okay, I'm really proud of you. I'm sure now for all you youths out there, you can see just one of you here doing the same thing, working and chasing her side hustle. So much more happening on Wake Up Nigeria. Do not go anywhere. We're going on a break and we will be right back.
Welcome back. Now, I hate to be the one to point out the very obvious, but I suspect the guys sometimes wish they could join us on Wednesdays.
Your suspicion could even be confirmed to be true, because at some point, we brought in Mazino about 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And he was so giddy. At some point, I was like, Mazino, do you want to change sex? Let's know where you're going.
Mary.
Well, of course, we do bring that something extra that only a woman has.
And 4 beautiful women working together is not something to be taken lightly.
That's right. Now, if you didn't know, it's Wonder Women Wednesdays on Wake Up Nigeria.
Yes, sir.
Now, please make it a point to start out with us at the hour of 6 every Wednesday. We're not saying you should ignore us all week long.
No.
But Wednesdays are.
And I think we have this Superwoman thing, this Wonder Woman, blue and red. Blue and red. We do that.
Yes.
So let's just do our Superwoman pose.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, like that. We have so much coming your way. It's been a whole other level of fun so far. A lot of entertainment with the ladies. Thank you so much for joining us as well.
Yeah, we should also thank Chef Ayomide from Zay's Kitchen for joining us to make breakfast. Tope seems like she wants to climb the kitchen table, jump around, dance around.
All that got me to Mary was your Wonder Woman pose. I didn't get what was going on, but
you didn't do it. She didn't do the pose.
Yo, Auntie was looking in the sky.
No.
I did like this.
She
Maybe
put, she put one hand
like
up, and I did like this.
Now that's it.
Yeah.
Yes. Screenshot. Click.
Wait. Did they get it? Did they get it?
My dear, I did it from here. Don't worry. In my frame.
At this rate, we are going to spend 15 of the 45 minutes in this hour just doing the Wonder Women pose. So let's just move on.
45 minutes still to go. It's gonna be even more fun. My name is Titilayo Oyinsan.
And my name is Mary Bashua Alimi. Remember, you have an option of streaming the show online at tvcentertainment.tv and on Facebook at TVC Connect.
You can also join us on our social media pages. We would love to see your comments and contributions. Just make sure you use the hashtag WakeUpNigeria on TVC.
That's right. And to watch all our exciting episodes from YouTube, please subscribe to our YouTube channel, TVC Entertainment.
Also, every Friday, we have someone special joining us in the afternoons. 2:30 p.m. on Instagram Live. Make sure you make it a date.
Yes, don't miss it. Now, let me blow your mind. He's actually Igbo.
Oh, wow.
He's actually Igbo. His name is Obinna. And another thing is, he's a twin. And his twin looks exactly like him as well. So, they really have this look. They grew up in the north. So we will talk more about this much later.
I was so impressed. To be honest, so in the first hour, when I saw the highlight, I really thought it was the president giving a speech.
Yeah, she was actually like, Are we having the president
like,
on the show? So when he started talking, she was like, okay, this is going to be the president. I had to tell her that no, he's actually a comedian.
I'm impressed. I'm impressed. And the effort that he put in the work to create such a set.
Yes.
No, I'm impressed.
Yeah.
I want to hear what he has to say.
We have loads of questions
I was
for
going to say, the topic about kids. How long did you take before you had kids?
Well, for us, it kind of just happened. It was like snap of the fingers and it happened. But it wasn't like we wanted, we weren't searching as at then, it just happened.
Okay.
And everybody was like, you are blessed. It just happened, you know.
How long did it take for you?
1 year.
So you took that 1 year break?
Yeah, we said that we're going to, start making it immediately once it's a year.
Okay.
And once it was a year,
and it happened.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
So these things are making it look so easy.
Yeah.
Like you just snap your fingers and the baby's come. But it doesn't work that way for everybody. Some people planning for a year, 2 years, maybe 2 months. And then it takes 10 years, 15 years, 20 years. And so just as we were talking earlier about the patriarchy thing, when you see things like that, for those who actually struggle to have children, it's a problem. You know, you were mentioning the breastfeeding aspect as well.
So we mentioned earlier that some just assume it's easy to be a new parent or a new mom. I was thinking about how I had to breastfeed. Thankfully, I had a lot of help from my mom. I had a nanny, and then I had my husband there as well, who was actually very, very hands-on. But still, the pressure
feed yourself
of holding 2 children at the same time, even just holding one is already a lot of work. Feeding them every hour on the hour, because once they're newborns, their stomachs are really small, so they have to keep eating. And I know my mom probably saw the look on my face whenever she used to bring the kids to me.
We haven't even mentioned the postpartum depression. We haven't talked about watching the child go to school the first time, because people don't know the fears, or when you have to take the child to the daycare for the first time.
And then some women are scarred for life.
I'm telling you, in
Some
many
women
ways.
are scarred for life.
Anyway,
it's been one of those discussions where loads of comments we're going to get on social media. Likely, just use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. It's about time
Ibrahim
for us
is on
to
standby.
Yes, let's tolerate it one more time.
I've been racking my head how I'm going to come into your conversation, but it's just woman matter that you guys are discussing.
Wow.
It's the 3rd day of resumption for schools in some states in Nigeria, which were closed for about 6 months as a result of the pandemic. While learning activities are gradually picking up, the Presidential Task Force on COVID-19 has stressed the need for more vigilance in spite of appreciable progress recorded in controlling the deadly virus. Organized labor and civil society groups are set to embark on a mass protest next week, Monday, over the hike in the prices of petrol and electricity. That's when a 2-week ultimatum for a reversal by the federal government is set to expire. The decision was reached after a closed-door meeting by the National Executive Council of the Nigeria Labour Congress in Abuja. President of the union, Ayuba Waba, says the hike and other charges will further impoverish Nigerian workers and citizens. He insists the strike will hold if the federal government fails to yield to the demands, which includes the upgrade of the nation's refineries.
The issue of hike in electricity tariff by almost 100%. Also, NEC resolved also to reject the fuel price increase in the name of full deregulation. Therefore, this increase coming in the mix of the COVID-19 pandemic is not only ill-timed, but is also counterproductive.
Since the reintroduction of the Water Resources Bill, there have been criticisms from different quarters, with many accusing the federal government of trying to seize absolute control of water resources in the country. There are also fears that the bill is capable of inciting water wars and depriving citizens access to potable water. The federal government has again appealed to Nigerians that the National Water Resources Bill is designed to benefit all. But the Ministers of Information and Water Resources say the suspicions are baseless, as the Water Resources Bill is designed to benefit all. Critics of the bill also allege that if passed into law, it could empower the federal government to deploy water resources however it pleases, and in the worst-case scenario, even inside water wars. Borno State Governor Babagana Zulum and other government officials have attended the burial of the commander of the 25 Task Force Battalion. He died from injuries after a fierce battle with Boko Haram, the Boko Haram fighters in Damboa local council. Dignitaries gather for the solemn event. The Borno State Governor, the Army High Command, senators and members of the Borno State Executive Council. There are the Maimalari Military Cemetery to witness the burial of the 25 Task Force commander who died from injuries sustained while fighting at the fringes of Damboa community, one of the hot spots of the insurgency in Borno State. A prayer was conducted for the dead senior military officer who is considered one of the gallant officers who died in trying to bring peace to ravaged Borno State. He is remembered for his selflessness in discharging his duties.
Contributions that he had.
He is buried at the military cemetery in full military honors, witnessed by his family members and orphaned children. Now, chairperson of the ECOWAS Authority and the President of Ghana, Nana Akufo-Addo, has called for a strong regional approach to contain the growing threats of terrorist and extremist activities. It says insurgents are taking advantage of the poverty situation within member states in the recruitment and indoctrination of the youth in the Lake Chad Basin and the Greater Sahel. He also expressed concern over the porous nature of the borders and the vulnerabilities of the ECOWAS member states. The Economic Community of West African States has therefore agreed to a $1 billion budget for the financing of activities in the action plan to contain terrorism. And the United States coronavirus death toll has passed 200,000. According to the data from Johns Hopkins University, more than 6.8 million people are known to have been infected in the U.S., the highest in any country. The milestone comes amid an increase in cases in a number of states, including North Dakota and Utah. President Donald Trump said on Tuesday that the new death toll was a horrible thing and claimed that China should have stopped the virus during his UN General Assembly speech. There are also concerns that it could be difficult to keep the virus under control in the colder months.
Welcome back. Now, Jane Vanessa Willie is a certified relationship coach with 9 years of experience in counseling and coaching. She is the founder of the Vanessa Foundation, an NGO, and she is also an on-air personality. She has a Mandela Washington Fellowship, and today we're going to be talking about what having kids could do to your marriage. Have you ever thought about that before?
I didn't know it could do something to your marriage, but I mean, I never planned on having kids on time because I'm like, if I'm waiting to get married, then I might as well enjoy being with my husband
for a bit.
Yes, before the kids come.
Well, it makes sense. It makes sense. I'm sure Vanessa is standing by.
Yes.
Are you with us?
Yes, I am.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I
Good
love
morning
your
to
hair.
you.
Love it.
Thank you. Hello,
Okay.
Dynamite.
So let's jump straight into it. When you use the term "due to your marriage,"
Yes.
it often sounds on a negative angle. But there could also be positives. Am I right? Let's try and balance it out. How do we begin?
Of course. Children generally are a blessing. If you've had kids, you will understand how much pleasure they can give you, how much joy they can give you. At the same time, they can be a lot of work. So picking one and leaving the other, you'll be missing out on a whole lot of things. So pretty much what I want to do today is to help you to understand it and be able to do better with it.
Okay. So where do we start from? Do we start from the day of the wedding, after the wedding night? Is that where we're going to start from? Because I'm thinking about that decision to have children. A lot of people don't think of it as a decision. What would you say to that?
Exactly. That's I think that's that's pretty much a lot of that's in fact that's the crux of the conversation today, because a lot of us didn't think about it. You know, we envisage being married, wearing wedding dress, walking down the aisle. I mean, since you were 6, you probably have been fantasizing about this big day, but not much is said about what happens after, how you cope with what happens after, the reason for postpartum depression and all of that. All of that come to play when you don't understand what happens on the other side after the big day.
Yeah.
So one of those days, you know, one of those decisions to think and talk about is having kids and when to have kids. Because the truth is that children will change your life, whether you like it or yes, it is a certainty, even for the calmest of kids. And that affects marriage in a way that if a couple don't understand it, they begin to put that pressure on themselves at, you know, attacking their person instead of the issue. I don't know if you understand. So helping them understand what the problem is takes the focus away from them. So it's not me against you. It is both of us against this issue, trying to solve a problem. Not the child as the issue, but the circumstances that has come as a result of having kids. One of those issues will be having less time for each other, because now a lot of demand, you know, is put on your time. Aside from increased chores, activity, having to care for somebody else other than yourself. And oftentimes you don't even know how to care for this child, because every child is unique. Even if you've had 5 kids, a mother will tell you that 5 of them were 5 different experiences. So they need to understand that. Okay? And then how do you manage this increased responsibility? Oftentimes what you see in a marriage is the woman is burnt out, full of complaints. She starts bickering, you know, I've done all this all day, you do that. And you also forget that your partner is also playing some kind of responsibility. But the truth here is learning how to communicate those desires in such a way that you're not attacking each other. So for a woman who feels worked out, she's been there trying to care for the children, ask for help. Ask for, get as much support as you can. There's no trophy. Nobody's going to give you an award for being a super mom. I feel like we try to take on a lot because we're trying to prove a point to ourselves that we are not failures. We can do all things. And then we are burnt out. And the things that are important, we don't have attention or time for them. Like your husband, he needs time, he needs your attention. So you need to ask for help and ask for it directly. Don't go around it. Men do better when your request is put directly. Please, can you help me do this? Can you help me do that? Don't think he will magically think about it and be thoughtful and do something about it. It often doesn't happen. Not because the man is not thoughtful, but they just don't function that way. They have also been wired by culture to think that the home is a woman's responsibility. And let me quickly just chip this in. It is wrong for a man to think that raising of a child is a woman's responsibility, because that with time has proven that it's a wrong philosophy, and it has a lot of effect on the male child. So imagine a man who is being raised by a woman. It will be difficult. You see him throwing his emotions all over the place, not being able to put things together, always running to friends for counsel. The quality of his decision are, mainly watered down because that balance is not there. More often than not, he gets the tender love. So love has 2 edges, the tough love and the tender love. The balance of having a man in a male presence in the male child life is to give him that tough love. Tell him what it's like to really be a man, while you have the balance of the mother giving him the tender love. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
Okay. Yeah. So, there are some cases where that is actually flipped around, where the dads are actually a lot softer, and then the women are now seen as the disciplinarians. But then I want to go back to the topic in terms of the sense that we were saying, what does it do to a marriage?
Okay. What does it do to your marriage? I've talked about increased time and increased chores that affects time, quality of time and also can increase the intensity in the marriage if it's not properly managed. That can increase nagging and stress and irritation and all. The next one is the quality of your sex life. Now, that is a huge problem. I mean, time will not even allow me to overemphasize on that. So I always encourage couples to be deliberate about having sex dates. So you'll be like, okay, so I need to have a calendar for when I'll have sex. Well, not like that, but yes, like that. Reason being that as a single person, when you are going out, you plan to hang out, you go on fun dates and things like that. And some of them lead to, having quality, intimate, time. But when it comes to marriage, you now feel like, oh, because I'm married, I shouldn't plan about it. I shouldn't put that in the agenda. I think you should, because if you're not deliberate about it, you're going to have issues. Being adaptable. I always say that marriage is about adaptability, your ability to adapt. So if you understand these things, like someone who is going to the gym, you're going to have times when your body is going to ache, but the ultimate result will be that you have the body that you desire. So you need to be willing to put in that work so that you can, in turn, enjoy what you hoped to get out of the relationship. Because the omelette is as good as the eggs. Does that make sense? Then lastly,
sorry, before you say your last point, I would like you to channel your point from the angle of someone who is yet to be married. Now, how do you prepare yourself for what your children can do to your marriage?
Well, understanding that your time will be affected is one of them. Understanding the truth about having kids is that you really, no matter how I paint the picture theoretically, you don't quite grasp it until you're in there.
Okay.
Because
and that's the best way. That is the best way to wrap it up. You can't exactly put a handle on it until you're in there.
Yes.
Don't worry, you have time. Don't worry. We'll continue this conversation and hopefully we'll be able to get comments and contributions on social media as well. Just make sure you use our hashtag #WakeUpNigeria on TVC. Thank you so much, Vanessa, for joining us.
Yes.
Okay.
So what else is better than two fringe ladies?
Okay. She's always trying to steal my shine. She will not let me enjoy it. Last week was
I'm
blonde.
always trying to be like you. You see?
Including my chubby cheeks.
No. Anything chubby, I stay away.
Shut up. Well, hey, I heard you guys when you were talking about the relationship thingy, especially the children aspect and what it does to relationships.
When she said, there's only so much we can say, but when you enter, I say, yay.
We are not giving you expo.
This is not the help. This is, when you enter, it's more like, well, I'm so sorry, you have to enter it to experience it.
The reality is, every woman needs a well-trained man for a husband. And every man needs a well-trained woman for a wife. And that's the only way you're going to have peace of mind. We can keep saying, oh, this is how it's supposed to be, this is how it's supposed to be, but it depends on someone who actually thinks about the other person as a human being. And that's where the issue starts. Because you are involved with someone who has been raised to believe that this is how things are supposed to be. And like, for example, you talk about a woman, there was this stuff that was making the rounds yesterday. I don't know if you saw it, 4 screenshots of a conversation. A woman withdrew 60,000 naira from her boyfriend's account. And from the beginning, even the way she was talking to the guy, very, very rude. As a lady, I even felt embarrassed for the guy. And the guy was like, did you take 60,000 naira from my account? I said, yes, I have the right to. As per, I'm your girlfriend.
Wow.
And I was like, wow, some men do have it.
I mean, some men have it coming for them. But still, I feel like there was a day I was having a conversation with my grandpa, God rest his soul, and we're talking about something that he taught me when I was growing up. And then I told him how I twisted it and it worked better. And then he said, for the first time, he said, Tope, you know that in life, we teach you what we know.
Yes.
But sometimes you have to unlearn what we teach you and relearn what is right.
Yes.
And it made a lot of sense because we're talking relationship and marriage. And then he said, and he was like, this is what I know and this is what I will teach you, but experience should let you weigh what should be done. And I think most times we're so stuck up in our ways that because this is what we know, we feel like this is what should be done. And I think it's always best, we should always remove ourselves from the situation,
yes.
and look at it. If somebody is giving you this gist, would you really think that that thing is right?
Indeed.
Because at that point, it would not be right because it's no more you.
Yes.
But we're so into ourselves, and it's now more like, this is me. And that's why sometimes you see, they say men objectify the women, or men put this in, because this is how they've been brought up. And even ladies, not even to put the men on the spot, but even ladies, because this is how they've been brought up, we don't see how we should take it chill.
One of the things I struggle with is people expecting that a certain gender should do this, but should be more understanding when the other gender cannot do this.
Yes.
So I also struggle with so many things that we call culture and tradition, because when you try to find out about them, you realize that they're actually not as true as they are.
Yes.
And talking about true or not, we're going to be having a conversation with someone who is new to the world of marriage and marital affairs. Talking about MC Tagwaye. He's actually known as Obinna Simon. That's his real name.
Okay.
He's a popular Nigerian comedian who goes by the name MC Tagwaye.
Yes. Now, the teacher turned entertainer is also a farmer, an actor, and a businessman. Now, he has joined us for a conversation via Zoom for a chat. I'm really excited to talk to him. Hello, Mr. President.
Good morning.
Are we having
It does seem like we have connection issues there. Okay, he's right there.
Oh, you're not the president today.
No, he's definitely not the president today. Good morning. How you doing? Okay, so we need you to unmute your audio so we can hear you clearly, okay? Because you can hear us, but we can't hear you yet.
Yes.
Okay.
Fantastic.
I can hear you now.
Yay.
But I can't see you.
Oh, don't worry, we can see you.
Don't worry, we can see you clearly. We can see that you just woke up from bed.
Looking fresh from the oven.
Freshly baked. Okay, so it's so good to have you on the show, MC Tagwaye.
Yes.
Where do we even begin?
Well, we begin from where you misled me to thinking you were the president. I was already excited that, I'm going to be talking to the president today.
Okay, so you know what they say about how it all began?
Yes.
Yeah, from what we could see, you started off as a teacher. So at what point did the comedy come into it?
Well, while I was teaching, I used to do MC as a side job to support my teaching job, because the salary as at then was quite small.
Okay.
So at that time, that was around 2009, 2010. It was paid, I think, 8,000 naira. So
wow,
I need to find something to support it. So I used to do MC, though it's not something that comes often.
Okay.
Time to time, but I used to use it to support what I was doing. As at then, I think I had some gigs.
Okay.
My first gig then was about, I think, 3,000.
Wow.
And this was what year?
That was 2012.
Okay.
And then in 2013, I think I got a gig. I was paid 15,000. I couldn't sleep then, even after the show.
You expected them to call you to pay the balance?
Not really, because that was like my 2-month salary, paid to me in just within an hour or two. So later, that was in 2015.
Okay.
I used to mimic people. Even as teacher, even as I was teaching them and the rest. I mimicked my proprietress at some point. I used to mimic her to threaten teachers. Sometimes a classroom teacher might be sleeping, is tired, or she is tired.
Yeah.
I'll just peep from the window and then mimic the proprietress.
And
the
then the
teacher will
person
just jump
writing
up,
down. Wow.
thinking is the proprietress, and only to discover I'm the one, and all of that. So in 2015, when President Muhammadu Buhari won the general elections, the presidential election, is someone I admire, someone I was, and I'm still a big fan of his.
Okay.
I remember when we were in primary school then, on Fridays, he usually come back from Kaduna, heading to Daura. And then he used to pass our local government in Ngawa local government where we stayed then. So what we do is we target the time he will pass, and then we'll come by the roadside, we'll stand there, we wait for him.
Wow.
And then all we needed was for him to just wind down and wave at us. And that is what he always do, So when he won the election, I felt like, okay, I think this is it. And then I swung into, me making him. At first, I felt it might be too direct to start answering President MC Tagwai or His Excellency MC Tagwai. So I said, let me start it at low key. That was in a radio station, Vision FM, Kaduna.
Okay.
So I started with Senator MC Tagwai as of then, 2015.
Okay.
We're doing it. The first time I was on radio, the friends of the owner of the radio station, they called him and told him, wow, you people are in money to do. He said, what happened? He said, we had the president live on your radio. He said, the president was live on our radio. Which of the radio? He said, what your branch in Kasana? Because they have branch in all over, I think like 5 states
in the north.
In the north. Vision FM 92.1. So he now called the manager. Did you have the president on radio today and we don't know about it? He said, President. He said, I just got a call now that the president was live on radio in Qatar.
Okay. You know what, Tagwai? We need people to understand how people must have felt when they heard you and exactly how you looked. So we're going to take a quick clip of you in action. So he's looking at the stuff and he's like, oh my gosh, is this me? But really, we must say a big thank you to you, MC Tagwai. We really appreciate your time. Hopefully, one of these days, we should probably bring you on IG Live. So we can really talk about this more and people can get to meet you during Wake Up Nigeria Extra. Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, Chef, for being so hard at work
Our
in the kitchen.
First time chef.
Yes, sir.
Kitchen Zays. Now, so she prepared rice and orishi sauce.
Okay.
You're going to tell us what we have in our orishi bowl.
So we have...
Mary quickly takes a taste.
Okay. Myself? Okay.
Mary's going to be tasting it today.
Yeah. Okay, so let's take a bit of
So while she's doing that, a big shout out to our friends at Homely NG for the kitchen accessories, and a big shout out to everyone who's tuned in this morning. We appreciate each and every one of you. Be a Wonder Woman this Wednesday, everyone. Wow. Be a Wonder Woman.
The sauce is nice.
Yeah. All right.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Okay. For all of you who are wondering when we'll be back here 6 a.m. tomorrow. Yes, so make sure you make it a day. Have a great day, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.